Welcome to Delaware. We've made it to what apparently is the second smallest state in all of the United States. The first state, as it is also known as. I'm actually learning quite a bit. I'm drinking a Cinnabon iced coffee, which is quite nice actually. As you can see, it's sunny in Delaware, unlike beautiful rainy New York City. There's the state flag of Delaware. I bought myself a Delaware magnet because that's what apparently you do. And here is a little monument, Purple Heart Trail in Delaware, dedicated by Governor Jack A. Markell and this military order, the Purple Heart Department of Delaware, July 27, 2011. Let's take a look at that. Fancy. So there's not a whole lot to do here. We've literally just stopped to grab some brekkie and have a bit of a half-hour break. So I'm trying to save the pennies and buying a cheap iced coffee and buying myself a cheap magnet. So we're going through Maryland and then we go to DC. So yeah, just to prove that we're in Delaware, a sign that says welcome to Delaware. So indeed, welcome to Delaware, and let's continue on the road to DC. So we've made it to the Arlington Cemetery, which is kind of like the national cemetery here in Washington, and just there is the graves of JFK and Jackie Kennedy's wife. So obviously pretty poignant area. That's where they were buried, and yeah, it's, I guess, I don't want to say strange, but obviously it's sad. This is the point where they are. There's a flame kind of going on there alongside it. So this is obviously a very large cemetery, and you can probably see, if I did go around this way, you can kind of see DC behind me, which obviously no doubt will go there. And that is the house back there of Robert Lee, former leader of the Confederates during the Civil War. So yeah, this is what we're doing right now at Arlington, and yeah, it's quite an interesting place. Well, we've made it to the main parts of DC, and we're standing in two kind of cool spots right now. I'm going to spin around this way, and you're going to see the National Monument as well as the National Pool. And you might remember, of course, a certain scene from Forrest Gump taking part there, but obviously a lot more stuff took part there as well. And if I spin around this way, the Lincoln Memorial. Now we're going to go up there inside and see the giant statue of Abe himself, and also on those steps in between the dark and the white steps is where Martin Luther King Jr. stood and gave the I Have a Dream speech, which is written up there, as I've just been told, on the ground. So let's venture up there to have a look, and then we're going to venture back down there and have a look there as well. So we are in the Lincoln Memorial, and obviously we're going to avoid about 100 different people taking photos. I'm totally going to take a souvenir, but I want you to meet a very good friend of mine. This is my dear man Abe, Abraham Lincoln. Just you know, you might have heard of him. He, I guess, was a kind of decent president, so it's kind of cool. And so he has Gettysburg Address behind me, and this is his speech, his second inauguration that he gave. So it's pretty cool to be here. And the I Have a Dream speech was just out there too. So yeah, it's my man Abe. Welcome to the Brink Unleashed. We left the Lincoln Memorial behind, and we're now at the National Mall, or the National Pool, I'm gonna get right up close to it without falling in. There's money in there, funnily enough. There it is. If I can put my finger on the right thing there. Yeah. And it's kind of cool. Literally. I mean, I bet you if I jumped into that it would be nice and cool as well, because I mean it is water. So, but I mean it's not that deep. I mean, I remember in Forrest Gump, Jenny's like crawling through the water to get to him, which I'm guessing was up there. But it's been a very Forrest Gump-esque tour, hasn't it? We did the bench. There's a plane flying above, by the way, when we're at Paramount, and now here we are. So this signifies Washington DC, and just to show how far I've walked, which really isn't that far at all, Lincoln Memorial. So it's kind of cool that they're both sort of in the vicinity of each other. But I mean, this really is the hub of DC. We're really seeing the sights. This is what we paid to see. Probably the most famous part of Washington is a certain residence behind me. It is the White House. Now, we can't really get too close if I sort of sneak up to this fence. That's about as far as as close as we can get. They're preparing for the inauguration in like 2 months, really, of a certain Mr. Trump. But the Obamas, well, I think Barack's in Greece right now, so yeah, basically he's not home. But yeah, that's kind of cool. The closest I'll probably ever get to, even though he's not home, the president. But there's the White House. That's what you hear, see in Washington, and it's kind of cool. It's awesome. National Air and Space Museum, which, I mean, I'm just literally walked in and this is kind of crazy. It's like lunar module just there. There's a plane above me and rockets and jets. This is insane. We're getting food here, but at the moment I'm just interested in seeing what's around me. So it's pretty spectacular. Let's give it a whirl. This is actually really, really cool, because this here is the Columbia. This is the piece, the only piece of Apollo 11 that basically came back down to Earth after they landed on the moon. This is the actual one that they landed. It's tiny. It is absolutely tiny. And I mean, I guess like most young boys, I grew up obsessed with space. I wanted to be an astronaut for a while. It's clearly worked out for me. But that's really cool to actually be that close to that. That's, you know, I mean, I'm not going to touch it. I'll probably get like taken over to that FBI building that we drove past before. But that's absolutely awesome. And this over here is the Apollo-Soyuz test project. Now this was, I think it was in the late 60s or the 70s. Basically they got the Apollo spacecraft, which of course they landed on the moon with, and then the Soyuz one of the Soviet Union, and they came together basically for a little bit of a get together. 1972, and there's like the little piece there that they did. But let's walk under this thing right now, see it. And yeah, they are actually incredibly small. So I guess you really don't appreciate it until you actually see it in person, to how small they actually are, and how the hell they actually had to fit into that in space. Like that is beyond crazy that they actually went in that, you know. And just think, we haven't been up there since. It was in like the 70s, 72 I think was the last time we landed on the moon. And basically they're trying to go back to Mars in like less than 10 years, and whether or not that happens or not, who knows. That's the Hubble telescope. Well, not the actual Hubble telescope, that's in space. That's a replica of it. But yeah, it's kind of awesome. So I mean, I've just literally walked in and I said, I'm gonna get some food. But I'm too I'm too engrossed into all this kind of stuff. This is awesome. This is free too. This is completely free. We didn't have to pay to get into this. So, National Air and Space Museum, any good value for money. We are inside a plane, sort of. Well, at least a cockpit. So, final stop of our Washington tour is here. And we're going to spin around here basically. Because if I walk just here, keep walking just here, kind of run away from the tour group, but hey, I'm trying to get a better shot of the Capitol building. I don't think you can see that. If I do this, nah, the light is pretty shit on my phone right now. But perhaps if I come along just to about here, this should do it. There we go. Just make the light a little worse. There we go. Nope. And I've lost the tour group because they've actually gone up that way. Anyway, I've decided to go the long way around. Oops. Let's pretend this never happened and we'll fast forward over there and get close, right? Okie dokie, that was quite a long day. Because it's now like 10 o'clock and I think I was initially thinking we'd be done by like 7:30, but well, it's a lot longer to drive down there than obviously we assumed. So anyway, we're back in the city and we're now going to hightail it back to the bus station and find our way back to the Airbnb, and probably won't come back in here now until at least Thursday for the trip to the airport, unless something changes tomorrow. I doubt it, but I guess we will see. So I just wanted to at least do this Christopher walking through the city. But I enjoyed that today. I actually really enjoyed that. So I usually say now been to Washington. I can go to a gentleman's club right now if I really wanted to, but no. Blowing my money on that sort of stuff. Just go watch porn on the internet. Anyway, hi Mum. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. What are we, day 47, I think. Possibly. That's New York. Was about to cross and would have gotten taken out by a angry driver, even though the light was about to turn white. You just cross when you cross, unless a car is about to drive through and run you over. So, the point of this video is to tell you that I'm going to catch a bus over to the Airbnb, and then that's the end of the night. That's how exciting this video is. So let's stop it, go to the bus, end this day, and we'll join you for our last full day in New York tomorrow. What's that exactly going to entail? Rest, hopefully. Let's see how we go. Shut up, Ben. Next day, please.